All right, welcome to Wrestling with Fate. We have our week in review. I'm going to emphasize week because I wasn't really all that impressed. We're going to kind of just go over the highlights of some of the things that we enjoyed from the week in wrestling. So we're not going to go match for match. If you want those results, you can find those definitely online. But we'll just talk about a little bit of our highlights, and then you guys can comment below if we missed something. We're not going to be covering.
Which we will.
We're not covering TNA. We're not covering Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor is tonight. So if we are missing something on there, missing something on New Japan, that was really cool, definitely comment below. But yeah, we're going to get started off with Monday Night Raw. It's the Monday after WrestleMania, usually one of the biggest Raws of the year. I know for me personally, it was the weakest Raw of the year, I think. Not really
rough.
too. Yeah, it was a little rough. You have the WWE stars and jobbers throughout the whole night. You have a WrestleMania rematch for the tag titles. Didn't really do anything for me. The only thing I thought was kind of cool was the Drew McIntyre versus the Big Show match that technically took place 20 minutes after Drew McIntyre beat Brock Lesnar. So it was actually just a match from the night prior.
So he was still winded and sweaty.
No, he looked perfectly fine.
But he did at least manage to get the side plates changed within that 20 minutes. So that was pretty cool. Ryan, did I miss anything on Raw? That was the only thing that did it for me.
Yeah, well, actually, don't forget Nia Jax made her return. Kind of a little lackluster for, there's no crowd. So it was kind of like, hey, I'm back. Oh, I'm back.
Yeah, that one was really bad. I was super excited. Hey, Nia Jax is out, and then it was just lackluster.
I mean, really, the first hour of the show was like 3 matches with the tag team champions, and and the women. It started, it was a tag title match, then it was women match, and then it's a 6-man match. I mean, it was like, where's Teddy Long? He would have been like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, and have people called up during this time when there's no fans really just kind of hurts. It's like, hey, Bianca Belair's on Raw.
Yep.
And it was just, I'm a big fan of Bianca Belair. I'm not, not really my personality type, but I think she has a definitely strong gimmick, the mic skills, and definitely some wrestling ability.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, when they got so many main stars off because of everything that's going on, getting called up at this point in time, it probably means nothing in the long run. I mean, So, but I do think that this Raw is a perfect example of why they probably should not be doing wrestling right now. I mean, you have the Raw after WrestleMania has always been like that, the one that everybody looks forward to, and
it's like, what's going to happen then? I mean, the night where Brock Lesnar made his first appearance ever. It's like all huge things usually happen, and it was just
the most unpredictable Raw ever. Was like kind of threw me back to my childhood, where you'd have a superstar and a jobber. It was not.
It was like watching WCW Saturday Night. I mean, back in the day, it was really. I mean, and I was a little worried watching the Big Show Drew McIntyre match because like, oh, they're not gonna, because he's beat up, they're gonna put take the belt off him right away. It's like, oh, come on, don't do that. But a lot of people were kind of clamoring too online, like, oh, Big Show turned heel again. And it's like, well, what I would have done is I would have had, Big Show obviously, came out and he was talking trash and challenged him. And after Drew McIntyre beat him, I would have had Big Show kind of like, almost like shake his hand and be like, like he has his respect. It's like, it wasn't like Big Show was turning heel on him. It was like he was telling him like, dude, you're going to have this huge target on your back now, and everyone's going to be after you. Kind of like he almost gets Big Show's seal of approval type thing, that he's ready. You know what I mean? But
you got no friends when there's gold around your waist.
Yeah, that's true.
We would all know this, right?
And it was a solid match. I liked it. It was good. I mean, it was. They didn't have to do the whole facade of it was right after WrestleMania. I was like, just
that lost me a little bit.
Yeah, that was like, I mean, that was helped to put Drew McIntyre over as like, oh, he just beat Brock Lesnar and Big Show in one night, but nobody's falling for it. Just play it like it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was too much. That was they forced that one a little too much.
Well, and Drew it kind of hurt Drew McIntyre too. He's like, Big Show challenged him, and Drew McIntyre's like, no, I just wrestled. I'm sore. I don't want to wrestle. It's like, a face champion like that he wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he had to get slapped to really be drawn into it. It's like, like RJ said, it's really a prime example of why after I can see why they needed to get to WrestleMania, but now it's like we've had WrestleMania. Let the people stay home. Let them be with their families. Let them rest up until this stuff blows over as best we can. You know, it's just this could have been a recap episode and then had Big Show Drew McIntyre as the main event match. You know what I mean? Like they could tape a bunch of main events, you know, and then air them throughout the weeks and then till this is all done.
Yeah, and then actually play WrestleMania on Raw for the next 6 weeks or something like that for people that didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that pretty much covers Raw, so I think we can just kind of move over on.
Yeah,
on
sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent there, but.
So what I was actually kind of excited about when I woke up on Tuesday, I found out that the Big Show was actually debuting on Netflix, and I know you guys haven't watched it yet. There's 8 episodes out there. Definitely a funny sitcom. It's about the Big Show being a retired wrestler, and you know, his daughter from his first relationship comes to live with his current wife and 2 kids. Each one of the kids have a different, unique personality, and
just like real life.
Yeah, Jameel White plays the Big Show's friend on there. So for you guys that don't know, Jameel White, Urkel. So that's kind of interesting.
I think his name is Jaleel.
Yeah.
I've heard it both ways. Come on. You know,
who's Jameel White? Is that an MMA fighter?
Whatever. I've heard it both ways. So
if we do a review show of the Big Show, should we call it the Big Show?
Deal. I like it.
Maybe the big show.
Yeah, the big show.
There we go. That's going to be the title of it when we review that. But 8 episodes. It actually, yesterday when I checked, it was actually ranked number 3 in the U.S. So it's been climbing up there. So it's getting a lot of momentum. And so I hope there's a season 2 on that. I did see on one of the episodes, you do have Mark Henry, you got Mick Foley, and you have Rikishi all in the same episode.
Spoiler alert.
Not really a spoiler. I'm not telling you what they're doing, but they do show up into the show. So
are they somehow wrestling related?
Yeah, you know I
don't think that's a barbershop quartet. So
actually, you do see them sing a song from the Backstreet Boys.
Spoiler alert!
Oh, come on! You're wrecking the show.
So, if you want to see,
sorry, I didn't mean to talk. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Big Show has the acting chops to make it funny and watchable. So I remember back in 2000 when he was on SNL, he kind of almost stole the show from Rock a little bit with his goofiness. So
come on, Knucklehead.
Knucklehead was pretty good too. So yeah, I really like it. It was awesome to see, and each one of the kids really add a different dynamic to the show. So you guys will have to definitely tune in. We'll have to talk about it in a future episode. Sure. And if you guys are watching this at home and you guys have watched the show, leave your comments below. I'd definitely like to see what you guys think about it. So with it being one of the top 10 shows this week, I definitely think it will get a second season out of it. So that brings us on to Wednesday, where I was going to do a live streaming of both NXT and AEW at the same time, but due to my technical issues, me learning this basically, it didn't happen. So I'll try to do that this week and see, if we can, watch those live where I'll answer people's questions. But I did watch them. I was super excited about NXT for the first week. I was really thinking NXT was going to actually pull ahead of AEW as far as I'm concerned. But I'll just go down what my key moments there were for NXT, and then we'll kind of, as I'm covering this, if you guys have something to put into that match or something, we'll talk about it. I was actually excited. They opened up with the ladder match for the number 1 contender spot. I don't think it really does anything for the women. I don't think whoever wins this match was going to actually beat Charlotte Flair, but it was still pretty interesting. Dakota Kai, not a real big fan of, but her kicking Tegan Knox off the top ropes through a ladder, I was like, whoa, that was pretty big spot for, having no crowd there and stuff like that. definitely someone could have got injured.
Is that the one where the ladder collapsed like it was made out of balsa wood?
That is the one where it collapsed. Yeah. Yeah. And then
Sorry.
it was an okay match. Candice LeRae, I don't know what the big hype is on Candice LeRae. I'm not a huge fan. So if one of you guys know what's up with Candice LeRae,
probably give you two reasons, but that's about it.
Okay. All right. Chelsea Green, I did notice. The one thing I can't stand about Chelsea Green, and it's not that she has Robbie E., who is now known as Robert Stone. She does the Tessa Blanchard entrance, like to the T. She does the Tessa Blanchard entrance. I'm like,
well, nobody likes Tessa Blanchard, so that's probably why.
I get it. You know, I hear she's hard to deal with backstage and stuff like that, and that's why she didn't get a WWE contract. But I'm a Tessa Blanchard fan, so I think she does it better, and I think Chelsea Green is just kind of a cheap imitation. So let's see. And then the end ended with Sarai tossing Candice into the ladder, or off the ladder into the ladder that was in the corner, and then claiming the briefcase. So now she will go on to face Charlotte. Anybody want to add anything to that, or how do you see it being booked, Dan?
I'm glad to hear that Robbie E is now booked somewhere on a regular basis, so he can stop sending me booking requests every month. Not joking.
Hey, bro, bring me in, man.
So you have a show coming up.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I'm not doing anything. I'll cut your deal like $200.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's gotta be pretty nice, though, having different people reach out, and some of the names I've heard that reached out to you to be on the show. Maybe this is not knowledge that the fans should be knowing, but knowing that Dennis Rodman wanted to come to a show last year and do some stuff, it's like, wow, SSW is kind of taken off where you can do those couple big shows a year. So,
well, I think every promoter in the area right now, that if any of them happen to watch it, they probably know about the Robbie E thing. So.
Oh yeah, they probably all got hit up by Robbie E. But how many people have had Dennis Rodman reach out to you guys and go, "Hey, bring me in," So.
Well, yeah, the funny part about it though is like I do agree with you, but as a tangent to what we're supposed to be talking about, just throwing it out there, is that, like, to me it's always kind of been one of those things where it's like, oh hey, I'm in the area and I don't have anything better to do. I see you have a show. Would you like to pay me money to come in? Like, yeah, right. I don't even have time to put you on a flyer. Why would I pay you $1,000 to come in when I can't even advertise you're going to be here? It's literally 6 hours from now or something, like, you know what I mean? Like, it rubs me the wrong way a little bit, to be honest. So
I mean, it does a lot for me, but it does absolutely nothing for you.
Hey, I want to make extra money while I have nothing to do, but I have really nothing to offer you because we can't advertise anything now. But you want to pay me some money, and I'll come in and make your show look legit.
Why don't you come on down and sell some autographs?
I'll give you a table for free. And then
I'm not paying you, but you can come on down and sell some autographs.
Make some extra money. Well, I'm a professional. I'm not doing that if I'm not getting paid.
Professionals don't email 6 hours before the show.
That's true.
So for those that are paying attention at home, yes, I deviated and talked about our personal, SSW entertainment here in Wisconsin that draws, quite a big numbers now. So there's a YouTube page out there.
Maybe not as many going forward.
Yeah, especially with all this. You call this the beer flu?
Yes.
Is that what you call
it? Leave it at that.
Okay. So yeah, but in case you guys want to see that, there's a YouTube channel. Dan will post that link, in the comment section below afterwards, so you guys can go check out some of those
SSW
videos.
Pro Wrestling Entertainment Channel.
There you go. You can see some of my old footage from back in the day and some of my new stuff. Plus, you can see, Devin Diamond getting beat up by yours
many
truly.
times, a lot.
Yeah. I wasn't nice about it either. It's glad to see we can stay friends through all the beatdowns.
I will kill you.
All right, so let's get back on that NXT. It's booked. There we go. So we'll get back on NXT. They did a Baylor versus Wolf footage from a couple months ago, and then the Tommaso Ciampa match with Gargano. I was really looking forward to this one. I was told I can't change the channel from my son because he was really looking forward to this one. They fought all over the arena again. The match did go a little long for me. I hated when they fought on top of the semi-truck and they don't use it. I mean, if you're going to fight on the semi-truck, you got to toss somebody off of it through something or something. Otherwise, you're just –
a rule.
It's an unwritten rule, I think. Tommaso hitting the white noise off the top ropes to the outside, I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think you could see like they cut that, so there's probably some sort of padding there, but it looked great. It came off pretty good. And then the end, they lost me with the end at first, and then it came back around with Candice LeRae coming out and kicking Gargano in the nuts. Can I say that? I don't know.
Plural, mind you, plural.
And then, which leads to Tommaso kind of going, I'm sorry, hey, we shouldn't be doing this. And then as he's trying to help out Gargano, then she comes back in and gives him the low blow kick to turn out that Gargano actually had a cup on and it was a ruse the whole time. And, she helps him win the match.
Yep.
So he hits the no-wing angel on the bear ring, and Gargano wins that feud. I
like how he made a point to take the cup and like put it right in Ciampa's face, and he's like turning away from it, and he's like, "Hell it!"
Yeah,
he literally did that. Like,
so
it's like trying to feed a baby.
So, Ryan, I know that you we talked earlier.
Here comes the airplane.
So
sorry.
I see I have to be the adult one here and keep this.
Says the guy with the wall of pops behind him. Oh, wait.
These are all his fault. These are all your guys' fault right here.
Yeah, that's true. And I actually have one here at the house for you, Dan. So, so Ryan, I know we talked earlier. You seemed you had some high praises for this match.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm a little concerned. Like they're doing the cinematic thing a little too much in 1 week, but it was good. I mean, it was a great brawl. I mean, it had a lot of obvious energy behind it. There's a lot of history between these guys, and I mean, it's pretty much that's the end of it now. That's the blow off. So it was good. I liked it. I thought it had a good finish. The little false turn type thing, and I mean, it's pretty much as good as NXT can get in terms of storytelling and action. I mean, it was great. I liked it.
Okay, well, again,
manly men beating each other up. So,
yeah, you guys at home, what did you guys think? I know Tommaso, he's kind of a favorite of mine. I mean, he does live here in West Dallas, so not sure where, but he lives somewhere here in West Dallas. I haven't ran into him at a Target or a Pick and Save yet, but I know me and my son are a big fan of him. So
my guess is if he gets off NXT, he's not staying.
Yeah. Well, that's a topic for another show. Exactly. So that brings us to AEW, which I did go back and watch the taping of that. They started out with, I think, another great Jake the Snake promo.
Yeah.
I mean, Jake the Snake, oh my gosh, the promos that he's been doing in AEW, I thought were pretty good. It's kind of cool that they aligned him with this Lance Archer that I know he has a New Japan and stuff like that. So I haven't really followed Lance Archer. Does anybody else know more about Lance Archer that they can kind of?
I think he was in TNA, right, for a while. I believe that's what it was, but I didn't really watch then. I just kind of I know the name, but I don't know much about him. I know it's like blasphemy sometimes in this business, but
well, there's so much wrestling you can't really, it's hard to follow just AEW and WWE in a given week, especially WrestleMania last.
Just WWE.
Right. So Lance Archer, big guy. It was a squash match that he did. His blackout finisher, which is that reverse crucified, like fall away front slam.
Sure.
Impressive. So that was okay. That was not too bad. And for me, I don't know why. I'm going to admit it here on this channel. Britt Baker. I actually like the gimmick. Man, I think she's it's a great gimmick. She has that finisher. It's like a Ring of Saturn where she throws the mandible claw in there.
Yeah.
I like that she went for it this week, and she's like asking the referee to give her the gloves. So he took off his plastic gloves so she doesn't contaminate herself. I was like, that's great. She also hits the famouser. And then immediately just goes and lays in the corners looking right at Billy Gunn. That's right out at the ringside. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool interaction between the two.
Yeah.
So she did end up losing. She got hit with the running knee strike, and I'm going to try pronouncing her name here. Hikira Shida. So
I think so.
Let
me check this. Hikaru Shida, I think it is. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Hikaru.
So well, they also don't necessarily are said how they look, because if you look at Asuka's name, you'll find out that if you said it the way it's spelled, you're completely wrong.
Asuka.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, out of there, I think Britt Baker definitely had the better gimmick. Sure. She's always entertaining. Her stuff with Tony Schiavone, right?
Yes, Tony Schiavone.
Okay, yeah, so from the previous weeks were pretty entertaining as well. So Britt Baker, I think we'll see a lot of good things from her in the future.
It's a good thing she debuted over there, though, versus if she was working for Vince. You know exactly what kind of gimmick you would have given her with that name.
So, what's muffins?
Well, I mean, I like that they took. I mean, she really is a dentist. She went to school for it and everything. So I like how they really just incorporate that in there, and I think it really helps sells it.
Isaac Yankum's daughter.
I was thinking that when I was watching that. I was like, well, this is a much better dentist gimmick.
You're not a doctor, you're a dentist.
Wow.
So, any other comments on that match? Was there anything I missed?
Oh, it's good. I mean, Brody Lee, he's popped up in AEW. Luke Harper for the uninitiated. So
yeah, I was a little bit hesitant on him being the Dark Order leader, but now that he has this like Vince McMahon, to me it seems like a Vince McMahon type gimmick. It's a little darker, but the way he's suited up and he's trying to coach these individuals and stuff. So I'm actually starting to really get behind this gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the one thing I got to say about that, and I know I've said it a lot in the past, is that TNA has always had this problem. AEW, like you're always going to be the second fiddle if you play the second fiddle. The thing is like Luke Harper, Brody Lee now coming in and just constantly playing the Vince McMahon chip on your shoulder thing. It's been done so many times. It's like AEW basically started on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like you're never going to stand alone and be your own thing if you're going to constantly do it. I mean, I know this is kind of totally different, but like at least when like Lucha Underground came out, they just did something completely different.
Yeah.
They weren't like, but all these other feds, when they pop up, TNA was doing it with the VKM thing and all that. And it's just like, just knock it off. All you're doing when you're doing that is shining a spotlight that your competition is number one. I mean, Burger King doesn't sit here and like talk about McDonald's and mock them in the same way like they do about Vince McMahon. They just act like they're literally equals, and they, advertise back and forth. AEW feels like it's constantly anky. All of them feel like they're ankle biting WWE all the time.
Yeah.
Just stop doing it. Do your own thing.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. That's a pretty good point.
Yeah, I mean, you got to kind of go out and be your own thing, but. I mean, they do, unfortunately, there are guys there that have chips on their shoulders, and I mean, understandably so. So, I mean.
Well, does Vince ever mock TNA and AEW? And that tells you that he's on top.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah, and actually lately they've been passing video footage back and forth between TNA and WWE, so they kind of have this kind of working relationship a little bit where they're okay to share different video packages and stuff.
Sure.
Well, Vince wants that library too, so I mean, it's a matter of time. It's it's all going to be archived on WWE Network at some point in time. So there's a lot of footage of look at all the guys that they have from there. You got AJ Styles being one. I know Vince wants that library, so that's going to happen at some point.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, then we'll kind of move along here. I do love the rating system that they use. It doesn't always make sense, but it just gives a little extra to the show, I feel, with their win-loss records and stuff like that. So I thought that they take time and kind of spotlight, hey, Chris Jericho went down to number 2. Jake Hager is at number 1 now. He's the new number 1 contender.
Yeah.
So it kind of just gives a little bit more, I think, to their product.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of a little refreshing to just be like, hey, I just lost my pay-per-view match. Now I'm challenging for the belt on the next card. It's like, no, you get in line, bro.
Yeah.
That's also that's because they have too much. WWE keeps falling into that thing because they have just too much wrestling, and at some point in time, they just start throwing stuff together. You know what I mean? It's like that's why.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So
yeah. Well, and then that takes a lot of AEW here because for me it was the better show of the two.
Sure.
After watching both of them, the Cody match I'm disappointed on. It was good up until the very end. I have a problem when Cody takes that table bump and he's out cold and he barely gets in at 9 just moments later not hit 1 crossroads but 2. It's a running theme here. You guys know how I hate when they kick out of finishers, let alone 2 finishers, and then finishes them with a finger 4 leg lock, and then it actually just ends up in a pin. So he's actually, I'm like, really? That's the finish you guys could come up with this? I thought it was pretty obvious that Cody's going to win and Lance Archer is going to win, and they're probably going to meet at the end of this tournament. I would have liked to see it play out differently where maybe Lance Archer cost Cody the match, and I just don't want – it seems a little bit too predictable on this tournament to crown their TNT champion. So,
yeah.
Well, let's be honest here. There are no finishing moves anymore. They're just signature moves.
Yeah.
Been that way for a long time.
I guess I'm just old school on that one. You got to protect your finisher, man. You can do it once in a blue moon, but if you're going to take 2 finishers, if you kick out my first one, I'm hitting you with the second one 10 times harder. I'm letting you know. So
you got to keep in mind that back in the 80s, finishers were things like leg drops and DDTs. So look where we are now. So
yes,
yeah, but if you keep this cycle going, where does it end?
Everybody has to jump off of a ladder through a flaming table.
Right. So that's for me. AEW took the Wednesday Night War again. I don't know if they took it in the ratings. I think rating wise, I think NXT had it. They had a lot more high key matches. That Tommaso Ciampa Gargano match was one that a lot of people tuned in to watch. But
sure.
I do think AEW had the better product.
Usually does.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that being said, that takes us on to actually there was a release that happened this week. The Revival got released from their contracts, which their contracts were coming up here in just about a month or so anyway. So
yep.
For me, I was super excited to see that they got they're out of their contracts. Hope maybe we might see.
Now they can't wrestle anywhere.
Yeah, now they can't wrestle anywhere, and they got that.
Perfect timing for that.
Yeah, but maybe time the no compete clause is done.
Yeah, they're just free. There is no compete.
Oh, they can anytime.
Yep, it was an immediate release. So.
Oh. Well,
yep.
There you go. So hey, maybe we'll see him Ring of Honor, TNA, hopefully AEW for me. So we got to meet them at last year's Royal Rumble. It was they were super nice dudes. So when that little interaction that you get to meet with them. So
sure.
Pretty sure they'll live up to their name.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so then that takes us on to SmackDown.
And we're done.
Yep.
We're done. On to the next thing.
And that's SmackDown. So.
Well, actually, I like the Shinsuke Nakamura promo. I know a lot of people didn't like that, but you know, he's been working on his English, so that I thought was pretty good. The Nikki Cross match and the Kabuki Warriors rematch, it was good. It was nowhere near the WrestleMania match as far as I'm concerned.
Sure. It was good. I liked it though. So.
The Miz and Morrison singing, I don't know. The Miz actually didn't do too bad, but the Morrison, that was interesting to kind of set up that rematch triple threat with the other members that were not in the WrestleMania match.
Yep.
Forgotten Sons call up. I almost forgot about them being called up. So
you forgot the Sons.
Yeah, and you know, the amazing Bray Wyatt promo again. That was good. Bray Wyatt with another good promo. So
yeah,
a little bit more than what Raw had to offer, but still.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main event, Strowman versus Nakamura, was kind of a squash, realistically. And I know it's an unpopular opinion. I'm probably going to get heat for it, but I do think Nakamura is severely overrated.
Overrated? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, his gimmick is he's weird. You know, I mean, it's like, all right, you know, I'm sure, you know, I haven't seen all of his Japanese stuff, his stuff from Japan. But I mean, it's just like he doesn't fit the style of WWE. You know what I mean? It's just, and he's getting up there in age too. You know, it's just.
It is very New Japan, like, you know.
So. Yeah, it's just like I'm weird. Look at me. You know, it's like, okay, Michael Jackson, get out of here. You know.
Yeah, I do say that he's kind of lost on the WWE main roster. He kind of gets lost. I'm more, you know, kind of upset about how they kind of Cesaro. I think severely underrated.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know, they kind of put him in there just a little bit to kind of mix it up, but again, nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the big thing coming out of this is Bray Wyatt. It's going to be Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman for the title. So brings up why'd you even take the belt off him to put it on Goldberg?
Well, I did read that they only took
the belt off on that
because they wanted Roman Reigns to take the belt off of Goldberg. So, and it was almost actually a Jeff Hardy match. I hear Jeff Hardy versus Goldberg because they were just going to keep the belt on Goldberg until SummerSlam. But with, you know, who knows how long this will go on for, they decided to go with Strowman taking it off of Goldberg.
Makes sense.
Here. So, all right. And anybody want to add anything else to SmackDown?
Not really.
No. All right. Well, I think that's it. If we missed something, definitely let us know. We would love to hear it.
Sure.
Commenting on a future video.
And that is your week in review.
You know, I should just end the video right there. That was a great way to end it.
Yeah. You can't top that. So
yeah, but I didn't. So I wrecked it. So, but on that note, you guys, hit the like button, share, subscribe. You know, let's grow this channel. Let's get 100 subscribers.
Hit that little bell notification for when. Or do you have that? I don't even know.
I don't think I do.
And if you don't like this video, hit the dislike button twice to tell us exactly how much you dislike it.
Ouch. There you have it, guys. That's our show. Went over my head. All right. Well, that's our video for today. Until next week, take care.